Yo,
Hello.
welcome
Good
to the
evening.
show again.
Sorry we're late.
Listen, 7:10 is on time for us right now. We're going to take that. I am Chad Smith,
I am Tierney Smith.
and we are the Sooner Smiths at the Voice of College Football Oklahoma channel. Again, stream every Monday at 7:10-ish. And we are
7 to
excited.
7:10, depending on
Yeah.
how everything goes.
Right.
But yeah, we are excited. And if you are new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. And even though the video just started, if you just want to throw on a preliminary like,
Yeah.
just go ahead and help us out that way. And then we also have additional shows, not us necessarily, but the channel does. We have Josh, who's on every Tuesday at 7 p.m., and the call-in show every Thursday at 7 p.m. Also ran by Josh we've surprised guest
Yeah.
one time, but we will be packing for vacation this next Thursday, so I don't think we're going to be able to make it that time.
Oh, we will, won't we?
We will be.
Hey, we're going to Cancun. Where are we going?
We're going to Los Angeles. You almost said Cancun.
Oh, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I was thinking about our other, okay.
We are going to Cancun at some point, but not this weekend. We are going to Los Angeles.
Wait, you said next Thursday.
This Thursday.
Oh, maybe I'm not.
Anyways, we digress.
Yeah, been a long one.
But anyways, today
we are excited. We have one of my favorite people on the network.
Probably the most knowledgeable.
I would go hands down. Like if I got called in to do a college quiz on sports,
like a Jeopardy,
maybe one of my first calls is to this dude.
Right.
A lifeline, if you will.
Like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire college football edition.
Phone a friend, it would be him.
The problem is he would need all 4 lifelines to be phone a friend, and he would need like 10 of them.
It would be awesome. His name is Jackson Johnson, though Jack, as we call it. He's in the comments sometimes, and just an overall awesome person, and someone we've gotten to enjoy getting to know a little better, I know for sure.
Yes, and if we didn't already specify, he is the voice of college football Alabama.
A little bit of a different last, decade and a half for him than it's been for OU, but it's
had a bit more fun than we have overall. But let's go ahead without further ado and welcome
Jackson. Boom.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh man, I'm glad to be on with y'all tonight. It's gonna be awesome. Although I was kind of like, man, it was like should have gotten y'all for Alabama Oklahoma week last year, but no worries.
We were still new. We
We didn't know how to even work StreamYard yet. I don't think.
That was really tough. It was tough time.
It was brutal.
Hey, I mean, who needs Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift when you got the star couple of the Voice of College Football, Chad and Smith? All right, here, Monday nights on Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football.
Same amount of talent. Absolutely.
Someone clip that. Boom. That's awesome. Hey, well, thank you for joining us. I know that we are excited
to have me on
everything. Just in general, just going back to last year, with the first year of Coach DeBoer and just his whole staff and Saban being gone. What were your thoughts going into last year's season? What are your overall opinions on how that year went and kind of where you thought they succeeded, where you thought they came up a little short, and then how that kind of is transitioning into this next season coming up?
Well, when you look at the games where we had more than 125 rushing yards, those are the games we won big time, like LSU, Missouri. We won those games. But when we had under 125 rushing yards, those were the games we lost, like Tennessee. We lost to Oklahoma. We lost to Vanderbilt for the first time since 1969 in Nashville, where everybody had the long mustaches and the long hippie hair. And the first time that we lost to Vandy at all since 1984. And we lost to Michigan in that one. We almost lost to South Carolina because we almost let that one get away. But those were one of the many examples of where you saw what happened when Alabama had under 125 rushing yards. When we didn't utilize our running game, it was trouble for us. But when we utilized the running game, like we did against LSU, like we did against Missouri, like we did against Wisconsin, it was great days in Tuscaloosa. Great days.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were at that Alabama OU game, so that was a good time for us. But it was definitely a shock, even I think, for the Oklahoma fans to see that happen for sure.
That was our first post game.
Oh yeah,
we ever did.
I remember that was the first show. I saw where Mark Rogers, the voice of college football himself, was commenting about Oklahoma's not going to lead the series very long, but they're still leading the series. As I recall, like the first time Alabama and Oklahoma played each other was the 1963 Orange Bowl. None of us were born yet, but
My mother wasn't
JFK,
born.
the president at that time, was at that game. He saw Alabama smacking with Oklahoma, but then like the 1970 Bluebonnet Bowl, that was when you saw like Alabama wearing like white helmets in that one. There was like a 5-second a clip, 10-second clip, and you'll see it on like the little Bama's Grayscales VHS tape on YouTube of 71 USC. They show like that clip of Alabama and Oklahoma from the 1970 Bluebonnet Bowl, which ended in a tie. And that year was mid. It was terrible for Alabama and Oklahoma. But Oklahoma smacked us in 02, and we had a tight one in 03, although Alabama was terrible that year. 2014 Sugar Bowl, we were too depressed. Like Eeyore was happier than Alabama that night.
Eeyore.
But
just speaking of just kind of some games last year, what were some of the? I know that there, obviously it was not the season you were wanting year one with DeBoer and all that, but I think that you found some success in certain areas, especially with Ryan Williams, guys of that sort and that caliber. But where do you see kind of the what do you think was the biggest issue last year? And again, obviously Alabama's held to a standard that is extremely high. 9-4 compared to what Oklahoma did last year is, obviously we would have loved to have gone 9-4 compared to what we did. But where do you see kind of what was the failings of last year and kind of where you think the fixes are going to be coming?
Well, we got overly reliant on Ryan Williams. Case in point, the ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan, where we were like, oh, well, that punt return is going to save us. Nope, it doesn't. And had Michigan had a good quarterback game that game, they would have beaten us by more than had they scored in the first half. It would have been uglier. But, like we got way too overly reliant on Ryan Williams. We didn't have enough of an offensive line. That's why you see like Jalen Milroe getting sacked all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, we've made sure that we've got enough of pass catchers, like a lot of them, like Horton, because he heard the Tide calling from Miami. We got Brody Dalton, the Troy transfer. I mean, you're going to hear a lot about Horton and you're going to hear about Meadows and Ryan Williams, but you're not hearing enough about Brody Dalton, the tight end. Because and all the places he's transferred from are in-state, from UAB, Detroit, and Alabama. So he's happy at Alabama. I'm curious to see what he's going to bring. And I know Ryan Williams has to be relieved that it's not all on him. He's going to be really happy about that. And whoever is our next quarterback between Ty Simpson or Russell, regardless of who it is, they're going to be really happy with the receiving core that they've got for 2025. Because as Phil Steele himself said, they're fourth in the nation.
That was actually going to be my next question. Obviously, Jalen Milroe's not at Alabama anymore. He's moved on to the NFL. So what is that quarterback battle like? What do you expect to see from them? Like, what are their strengths, weaknesses? Like, do you have any expectations at all? Just give us kind of a little bit of a rundown on who is battling out for that starting position at Alabama.
Well, it's not Austin Matt, that's for sure. But Ty Simpson and Mr. Russell are battling it out. I think it's leaning towards Simpson, but we'll have more of an answer by the time we get to 5-6 days, perhaps a couple weeks before we play Florida State in week 1. We'll know who the quarterback is by then. And I would expect our QB to have like 3,000 passing yards or more, but that's just my take.
Right. Now the defense I know has, I think 10 starters returning. On one article I read, or at least a ton of people that had a lot of playing time. So the defense should be fairly good next year, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should
be returning a lot. Who are you looking at on the defensive side of the ball? That's going to be kind of the main guy.
Keenan, he's going to be really good. He's going to be really good.
Tim Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
Third. Okay.
Yeah, the third.
Good.
So I know that DeBoer got a lot of I don't want to say hate, but had a lot of opinions, I suppose. And it's never an easy act to follow when you're following Nick Saban by any means. But what were your personal opinions on him?
I think DeBoer is going to be fine. I mean, it's like the first year was bad, but it is what it is. Like we knew that we were going to be disappointing a lot of people, but especially when we didn't have Ryan Grubb as the OC. And the fact of the matter is, I think 2025 should be a whole lot better with Grubb coming back as the OC. And, 2024 was just like, a lot of people were just kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's like, oh, this is a terrible laws. Oh, well, Nick Saban wouldn't have done this. Nick Saban wouldn't have done that. That's what you heard from the non-ball knowers. The ball knowers that were saying, okay, this is year one. But if it was like year 3, year 4, then okay, worry all you want. But it's year one. If we're seeing that again in year 2 and year 4 and year 3, then there's problems.
You mentioned Grubb, but what does he bring in terms of just the new OC and what is like the different elements he's kind of bringing, do you think?
Brings a way better passing game. Like you saw the magic they saw with Michael Penix in 2022, 2023, leading the nation in passing yards. And 2021 with Fresno State, that was huge. Like you look back at the Fresno State UCLA game, that was a classic comeback right there. Like it was a classic victory. What he did with Hainer was amazing. What he did with Penix, amazing. And what he's going to do with whoever our next QB is for Alabama, I am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. Although I did worry he could be leaving soon for a head coaching position. But at least it'll be like a Power 4 position than like a Sun Belt position.
Right. Well, people give money. We always try to make sure that we get in. But you spoke of non-ball knowers. Speaking of that, Caden the Diesel said Alabama and Oklahoma are two of the worst teams in the SEC. Let's be honest. Ouch. I don't agree.
I love that you spent $5 towards us to say that. Thanks, dude.
Hey, well, yeah.
$5, $5.
If you're gonna troll, pay the toll. There we go.
That's
what we always say. Respect to you. Respect to you. Caden Proctor, obviously one of the highest rated linemen next year, and probably going to be a really high pick as well. Again, is he? And I believe he's at an IMG Academy, wasn't he, in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Am I making that up? Okay, I know he's a five-star kid out of IMG, and then has he lived up to kind of what the hype was with him? I know it's kind of difficult, especially for offensive linemen, because they're so dependent on what even at that position, what's around them and who they're with. But Alabama's known for having awesome O-lines, and Caden Proctor's been one of the guys that's been most highly touted. Has he been kind of a someone you thought has lived up to the hype, or do you think there's still a lot of improvement he needs to make?
I think Proctor's going to be doing all right. I think he's going to be making sure his teammates are doing fine. Like he almost left Bama, but he was like, no, I'm not leaving Bama. I'm staying right here. We're going to keep building this thing in Tuscaloosa.
Right. I can't blame him. It's a pretty sweet spot to be.
Doesn't seem too bad. As we mentioned, you've had a lot more fun over the last decade than we have.
Yeah. I mean, like the last decade was pretty fun. I hated 07, but I hated 06, but that's all right. You got to have the bad years before you can have the really good years.
At least you can just pick out certain years instead of like decades and stuff. That's kind of cool. How do you feel about the incoming recruiting class right now for Alabama? Who you excited about?
Yeah. Oh man, if you check out Alabama at the Voice College Football, you'll know that when our recruiting class was in the 30s, I was telling a lot of people on each of the recruiting videos that we're gonna get back to the top 5. You're gonna see Alabama get back to the top 5. Right now, we're number 5 in the recruiting class for 2026. I'm looking forward to seeing what this new class can bring. It's going to be amazing, and I think there's going to be a lot of names you're going to hear in the 2029 NFL draft.
Right. Yeah, that's not surprising with them, but
not surprising at all.
Do you have some?
No.
Okay. No, you're good. I was just going to ask, just kind of this whole, obviously the transfer portal. I was going to ask your favorite additions from there, but then also I want to get your take overall on the NIL aspect of it, and just kind of how you think the transfer portal, its effect so far on college football. But so far, who has been some of the key additions Alabama's brought in through the portal?
Well, and honestly, I think like Dalton has been a key addition to the portal. Obviously, like the NIL portal stuff, I think like the Alabama, Oklahomas of the world, they'll be fine. But I worry for like the smaller schools, like the Oregon States, the Washington States, the Wake Forests, the Boston Colleges. I mean, that's just gonna be like nuts. Like, good grief. I mean, like you saw like Dave Clawson leaving Wake Forest. Like you saw
Right.
like Boston College's head coach, Healy, I think it was. Like he left to go be a Packers OC. That's bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like, my God. I mean, at least you got Bill O'Brien, but
Right.
still though, I mean, it's like I don't think Boston College is expecting to have like a 2007 year where they were like 10-2 or having game-winning touchdowns on Thursday Night Football with Matt Ryan, or who in my opinion gets severely overjudged by the world of football. He's like the Bill Buckner of all of football. He gets judged for things that are not his fault. But it's just like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Hey, got another $5 here. Let's get rid of this garbage. Oh, well, it says Ohio State's defense is going to destroy Texas. Now, I hope so. I would love that. And Oklahoma's garbage can. Someone please get me a Bobcat mini excavator to get rid of this garbage. Well, man, again, I appreciate the toll.
Hey, thanks for watching, Caden.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat. We're here for it, dude.
I do think Ohio State's defense is going to be a problem, though, week one. Let's get your opinions on that. What do you think of just kind of expanding out a little bit? And I mean, I think the Alabama stuff is just so strict. I think they're just giving DeBoer another year just to settle in. We saw it with BV his first year. You're just kind of figuring out how the plane flies while you're taking off, and it's just it's him having a year now, and you see it with the recruiting for sure. I think showing that he's able to still take the reins and continue to no one's ever going to live up to Saban, but again, you wonder how Saban would have done in the NIL world, or if he would have enjoyed it as much, because I think part of what made Saban great, Jackson, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that he had a true passion for wanting not just to coach football players, but to want to turn like young kids into men and to teach them how to be, and I think right now he just sees the way college football has gone is just, it's too transactional. It's how much can you pay me? And if it's not enough, I'm going somewhere else.
And I know he mentioned too that the moms of the recruits used to have dinner with Miss Terry, and those dinners used to all revolve around, how are you going to develop my son? How are you going to take care of my son? How are you going to make him a leader? How are you going to help him get his diploma? How are you going to help him get to the next level? I mean, all these like developmental questions. And all of a sudden he said it turned into, how much can you pay my son?
Yeah.
And I mean, that would be so disheartening. So I 100%, I don't blame him one single bit. And Nick Saban had nothing left to prove. Like, he didn't need to prove anything to anybody. So I can see where you're like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. He's like the old man that's just like, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm too old for this. Like, kind of like Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon.
I think there's going to be a lot. I think we just had our AD announce that he wants to step down. He wants to retire, but he's still going to be involved. So I'm taking more like a step down than a retire. And I think he's kind of the same way. He's just quote unquote too old to want to have to deal with all this crap. And I really don't blame.
Oh man, Joe
anybody.
C has been the AD of Oklahoma since I was in diapers. Like, good grief.
yeah, since '99, been forever. What are your expectations of next year, like record wise? I mean, it seems like every team thinks they're a 10-win team, but every team is just needs to see it on the field first. For the first time in a while, and tell me if you can remember a year like this, the SEC seems to be, maybe wide open's too strong of a word, but it doesn't seem like there's this team that's like a 2019 LSU or a 2020 Bama, or one of those teams that's just so dominant going into the season that's just going to run roughshod. It seems really that there's a lot of, I mean, really any of these teams, if they catch the right spark, could take it.
Well, I mean, I expect to see like a 10-2, 11-1 type year for Alabama. That's where I expect the Crimson Tide to go. We should be more than okay. We'll have to make sure we don't overlook anyone. We cannot be overlooking anyone. That is the key right there.
He's back.
I know it. I don't really talk any crap on Twitter. You probably, like Caden, I think you need to kind of let me know the post I've said, and I'll check it out. But anyway,
this guy's awesome.
He's
Yeah,
funny.
I is there any
Mhm.
reason why you think it'll just be better? Is it just because the experience or the year of experience DeBoer's gotten, or is it just the returners and what you've gotten through the portal?
A little bit of everything. What we've got
Gotcha.
on the portal, what we've got throughout. Oh, and that was another thing too. Horton is another portal addition I'm impressed with because I mean he's been hanging out quite a lot with Ryan Williams. You see him on interviews with John Gruden, and you see him on all kinds of stuff, and they just vibe well together. And that's going to show on the field on games such as Florida State, on games such as Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Auburn, Oklahoma, everybody on that schedule.
And he's a wide receiver transfer. Where did you
Mhm.
transfer him from?
Miami.
Miami. Okay.
I guess he got sick of seeing Miami lose to Georgia Tech constantly, and he decided, nope, that's not for
I'm
me.
good.
It's like, nope, I'm out.
I'm
I'm sick of leaving the 80s and 90s and hearing about them. I want to hear about today. This is what I'm worried about.
Right.
So I didn't check Alabama's schedule, but what does that look like for you guys? Like, are there any games that you are, I wouldn't say worried about, but would be a little bit harder? So obviously, like, we get you guys in Tuscaloosa this year. That would be a lot, harder or easier for you guys than it was in Norman. And just what kind of matchups do you have that way? So for instance, us going into Tuscaloosa, us going into Knox, us going to South Carolina, those are going to be very, very brutal. So just wondering where you're thinking with that.
They're going to bring their A game. That's the thing. They are going to bring their A game. I mean, like that's another thing too. I'm definitely keeping an eye on is Shane Beamer going against Oklahoma. That's always fun. But Alabama having to go South Carolina the week after we play Tennessee, 2 weeks before we play LSU. South Carolina is thinking about Alabama to the point where we're their homecoming game, right? And the Iron Bowl. Don't even get me started on that. Alabama has not won by double digits against Auburn since 2015, and that was the year before TikTok was in the US of A. So that's kind of like a good grief right there.
I got to ask, we had sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
Like 2017, we lose. 2019, we lose. 2021, we win in overtime. 2023, we get lucky by a long ball, 4th and long.
Yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. We were
Milrow
literally watching it.
It was the guy who transferred to Texas.
Yeah, because I think
Isaiah Bond.
I had picked Auburn as a upset that week, and then they let me down.
Oh, dude, we played pick.
What you want to do is bet on Auburn to beat the spread next time against Alabama or Georgia because they won't disappoint you if you pick them to beat the spread.
That's a good point. There you go. It's free tips for all the people watching. You got free game. What I had to ask because we've had an Auburn fan on. We talked about the kick six. Obviously, you're an Alabama fan. Where were you when you saw that? Did you have a vibe it was going to happen?
I was at my grandmother's place on November 30th, 2013, watching that game. 16 years old watching it.
What are you thinking when you see him break the first kind of wave of defenders?
I was like in the preseason, and I'll give you a little backstory. Like months before that, I had my 2013 Phil Steele magazine. I was writing predictions on each team, and that's something I do every year, right? Mm-hmm. So I write in the prediction I had Auburn clinching bowl eligibility by beating Alabama. And I thought to myself, I figured Alabama's natty host be spoiled. I just didn't think it'd be Auburn and Alabama playing for a spot in the West Division title because I felt like Auburn would somehow pull off an upset over Bama. I mean, that was like the first time I ever done that. And I was like, okay, I was right. And one of these days I'll have to show y'all the 2013 Phil Steele magazine when I get it out of storage.
You had mentioned Oklahoma's predicted to be a surprise team. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, they are by Phil Steele himself. Because I think, honestly, that's a good sign where Oklahoma is heading. But although I don't think he took into account that Joe C. leaving would have an impact, that's going to make Brent Venable's seat hotter. Because, you don't have your number one backer anymore. And whoever the next AD is, they're going to want their own guy. Now, if Oklahoma goes 9-3 or better, Venable stays 8-4, 24-hour lobbying session. 7-5, you're fired. 6-6, you're fired. That's how it goes. But
I think you have for sure. No,
because I'm looking at the Phil Steele magazine right now. He had Florida State as the number one surprise team 2013. What did they do? Start the season at 11th. Then they win it all. number 2016, he had Washington, number 1 surprise team. They were 7-6, 2015. They lose in the Peach Bowl to the Crimson Tide. That's all right. Utah, number 1 surprise team, 2019. They basically would have made the playoff, but they came up short. Texas A&M, number 1 surprise team, 2020. Well, we saw what happened there. 9-1, celebrating over that. USC, 4-8 from 2021. They surprised everyone. I mean, it wasn't really a surprise when you had Lincoln Riley in his first year. Although the surprise was they lost to Tulane in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, that was wild.
And
I'll never forget whenever, oh golly, he was Mario Williams or Mario. Was it Williams? Yeah, it is Mario Williams. He like instead of just letting that kick go out of bounds, he tried to catch it right by the pylon and it hit off his shoulder and went out of bounds at like the 1. Then they got the safety. That was just
Didn't he do it again though? I think he did it again because remember that's when my dad was like, "That would have been a disaster."
That was the Utah game. That was Utah.
I don't think I feel like it was USC, but maybe.
No, it was USC, but they were playing Utah in that game. This is the Tulane game. They're in the bowl game.
Okay, well Mario Williams did that.
Yeah, I know.
He did a couple stories.
Oh yeah. Well,
but continue with Phil Steele. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You're good. In 2001, Colorado, terrible 3-9 season, entering season. They make magic all over the place. Win the Big 12 North. Win the Big 12 title. They thought they spoiled Nebraska's natty hopes, but I mean, they had to have somebody play Miami. So it was like, oh, well, we'll just have you play Miami. But Phil Steele was a big believer in the Colorado Buffaloes 01. Ohio State, 2002, they were 7-5 in the first year of the Jim Tressel era. But the bright side was they beat Michigan, ended the John Cooper demons. And once more, second year of the Tressel era, they win it all. Phil Steele believed in Ohio State as a surprise team. And he believed in LSU in 2003. And I'm looking at 2011. He believed in Virginia Tech. They were his number 1 surprise team for 2011. That was nuts. 2012, he had Florida surprising everybody. They started season like really low, but then they have a great September. They can't quite get it done against Georgia. They can't quite get it done against Louisville in the Sugar Bowl, but still, they had a pretty good season in the second year of the Will Muschamp era. Will Muschamp's a pretty angry dude, although I'm not sure if he's that angry off air. He's probably a super chill dude you can drink a beer with.
And then this
year,
is there
any chance that he's a little bit of a time traveler?
Who?
Phil Steele.
That is wild. Those are some great calls. And then this year, you had Oklahoma as a surprise team of the year going into next year. That'd be
let's hope that's a great call for us. We need it. We deserve it.
There was a lot of a talk about whenever Saban was there, who his, but I saw on a I guess a clip, who his best offense, best defense was. If you were to put like a team, an all-time Alabama team together, you have to pick one side for one offensive group and then one defensive group, and it can be like 2010 offense, 2020. I'm just using those numbers generically.
Yeah.
What do you think the best offensive year was, and then what do you think the best defense Alabama's had in the Saban era?
Well, I would say 2015 was a great offensive year right there.
Yeah.
And like defense, you can pick any one of the Saban years where we won a natty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can pick one. Isn't that so nice?
They were pretty good. There was a what is it? The 2020 defense that's always compared to like the 2021 Georgia for like best defense ever. I mean, obviously you had Miami too, but I mean Alabama's was right up there. It was 2020, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. No. Who do you think? Which one do you think? Which one would you take, Bama or the Georgia defense?
I'd go with the Bama defense from 2020, and that's taking the Bama glasses off.
Why is that? You think they're better than the Georgia 2021?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't think I'd want to mess with those boys at Bama. They'll chew you up like a chicken nugget.
That's awesome.
So I know obviously we mentioned the kick six, but let's mention some happier memories from the Iron Bowl. What are some of your happiest memories as an Alabama fan when it came to the Iron Bowl?
Oh man, 08 when we ended that long losing streak, shut them out 36-0. That's one of my happiest memories. I actually thought it was pretty cool that we played on Black Friday in 09, 2010, although 09 was a close call. I hate that we lost in the second half in 2010, but that was the last time Alabama lost in Tuscaloosa since. But I thought it was pretty cool that Alabama-Auburn played on Black Friday in 2009 and 2010. I thought that was a pretty cool experience. 2011 was a really good one. Alabama got revenge on that one. Basically clinched the spot in the Natty with that victory right there.
Those were the Cam Newton years, weren't they? For Auburn?
Yeah, the Cam Newton year was 2010, but
2010.
those were basically the Malzahn years from 2009 to 2011. And then Malzahn bails to Arkansas State. Then Chizik gets fired after 2012. He goes to Auburn. It was a mixed bag.
I wanted to ask you, sorry to keep jumping in from next year to this year, but what are some of the biggest challenges? If you say, I'm looking at this team and I'm worried about these spots or this aspect, and it could just be chemistry, it could be whatever. As an Alabama fan and someone who knows the team, what are those biggest issues you think might become a problem next year for Alabama?
Well,
Or that they need to deal with?
Well, we need to make sure special teams is looking good for 2025. We
Gotcha.
really need to make sure our O-line's looking really good. I mean, yeah, Phil Steele's got Alabama at 9th in the nation, but still, though, we got to make sure our offensive line is looking good and feeling good, because if it's not looking good, then you're up for a bad time for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad, by the way, it's my dad, Coach Smith. He said his accent's awesome.
Well, thanks,
part of
Coach. I appreciate it.
What part of Alabama, generically, are you from?
I was born in Anniston. I live in Meridianville, so I'm basically like 15 minutes away from the border of Tennessee.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
So you had no choice in having an accent.
There's another game for you. 2002 OU versus Alabama. Naldo works, shovel pass. And then Eric Bassey TD.
At least it wasn't like when we got smacked off the face of the earth by UCLA. Like, that was like, oh my God. It's like, I can deal with getting beat by an Oklahoma, but like a UCLA team where we're expected to be national title contenders, like, oh, that DeBoer era was terrible. He was thinking more about the secretary's name was about winning. He was up to no good in '99. Alabama only won the SEC title because like DeBoer was under fire. But like 2000, pressure's off me. So I'm just going to lead Alabama. I'm just going to do what I want. Yeah, you go from number 3 to 3-8. Ugh, like the Sheila era. People talk about the Sheila era being bad, but that was nothing compared to DeBoer. His mind was not all on football whatsoever. You had people from towns miles away hearing about the debauchery that he was up to. He was up to no good.
There was with Ty Simpson. I remember him coming in a little bit last year in the OU game. And one of the things that helped Oklahoma was just the conditions. It had rained and the field was wet. And, Milroe is an effective runner, but he relies a lot on just lateral quickness. And whenever it's soggy, you can't cut as well because you slip. Simpson looks like he has a live arm. He's a guy that I love his release just in terms of form, but do you think he's the kind of guy that can lead you to a national championship? I mean, it's one of those, he has so many playmakers around him, just get them the ball and let them do what they do. But is there anything that you're worried about or that you see that just you think makes him a guy that you trust leading the offense to really high expectations are going to have of him?
I think he's waited in the wings for a long while. So I think he's going to do all right, but we'll definitely wait and see what's going to happen in 2025. If he's not having a good few games against like Florida State, Wisconsin, then we're in trouble. So that's something to really keep an eye on, is that September slate to see if he does really well on there. And do we make a change to Russell in the middle of the season? Do we stick what we got, or do we make a change? That's going to be the question everybody's going to be asking throughout the season.
For those who don't know, Russell's a big 5-star. Was he number 1 quarterback last year in the class? Or was it – I can't remember. Was it no, it's probably who was it last year that was number 1 in the class? Was it Raiola? No, he played last year in Nebraska.
Don't look at me. All their names run together.
I think it might have been Russell. I guess it depends on what service you think is that you value the most. But I know he was
actually Underwood. That was number 1.
Oh, Bryce Underwood, Michigan. That's right. That's right.
Gonna get him, but then Michigan got him.
Amen.
Oh right, duh. Because we talked to TJ.
I don't know why I just couldn't even think of it. What do you think of that whole thing with Portnoy basically coming out and saying, yeah, I talked to Oracle founder's wife, and just said we need X amount of money to get him, and
if you're gonna go to Michigan because of Michigan, okay, but if you're going to Michigan for Portnoy, then I got some questions.
Well, just the money, I think they got him like $10 million overnight or something like that. They just put it together.
Insane.
But
I mean, I like watching Portnoy, but he kind of has like a butthole to some of his coworkers. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's like no amount of money could make me want to work with that guy if he's acting like that. It's like imagine how he is off air. Like,
That's fair.
Hey, I was going to ask you real quick, what is as long as you want to talk about it, but the playoff right now, there's a lot of talk about expansion. What do you think about the 12 team they had last year? I know they're going to straight seeding this next playoff run. What do you think about expanding? I mean, do you think it'll happen, or do you think they'll kind of keep it where it is? Not. What do you think will happen? And then I know your preference. You probably don't want it to happen, but what do you think they're going to end up doing?
They're probably we're going to know more by the end of this week. If the SEC and Big Ten don't come to an agreement where the playoff field stands for 2026, we're sticking with 12 for 2026. But 16, all I ask for is who's going to benefit the most. Like, I want everyone to benefit in the world of college football. I don't just want it to be only the big dogs. I kind of want to see the small dogs benefit as well.
Right.
But the way it's going, I think it's going to be whatever makes the SEC and Big Ten happy. I don't think the Big 12 and ACC have a say in it, unfortunately. And it really shouldn't be that way. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, unfortunately. I think it's going to be whatever makes the Big Ten SEC happy, they're going to agree to that.
Right.
I was just going to ask, this is just as a side note, because SEC Media Days is going on. Who's representing Alabama?
We don't have Ryan Williams, so we know that. So we're going to have Tim Keenan representing us. We obviously got Kalen DeBoer, so we're going to be happy with that. I'm excited about that. We've got another couple of our defensive guys, so we'll be thrilled with that. It'll be interesting to see what goes on for media days, but all I know, Proctor, how can I forget about him? He was there. He's going to be there, making us all happy Wednesday. And, Lawson will be there. I wish Williams was there, but that's okay. He'll be there next year.
Okay, so Alabama goes the same day as we do then, the 16th.
16th, yeah. I'm surprised Williams in there. Is it just because they want senior captains or seniors?
He's not a junior yet, but when he becomes a junior dog, he's going to be there next year.
Oh, gotcha. This, by the way, for all the OU fans, this is
Good golly.
I would say he's a little more muscular than I am, right? T, you'd agree?
Oh, he's big.
Whoa.
He's a big one.
I mean, look at that. My phone's.
I would hate to be on his bad side.
Look at this. Yeah, he's a massive dude.
Right.
I just wanted to give a face to the name.
I'm amazed that I'm the same species as some of these, especially football athletes. They're just. I mean, the height, the weight, but then also like muscle. Then somehow they're still really fast. It just blows my mind. Football athletes.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
I'm glad I figured out how to do that. I can go full screen on these images. Boom.
We're learning something new every day here, Jackson.
Jackson, you're helping, and you didn't even know it. Boom.
I appreciate it, and I did my best to help everybody.
I just wanted to ask, kind of just in general, of the years you've watched Alabama, what have been more the fun, your favorite team maybe that you would say you enjoyed the most, and then kind of just what was it? And obviously, it's probably going to be a championship year, but what was it about the team that you liked, and then kind of just why in general was it that year specifically?
Well, actually, there is one year that's not a championship year. That's my favorite one.
Interesting.
The 08 one, because it was the start of a new era. Like, we started off with Alabama Clemson. Everybody was expecting Clemson to make big things happen again, but Tommy Bowden was always disappointing everybody in the preseason. Alabama stomped the mud hole of Clemson, and that was like the beginning of a new era with the Saban-era, all right there in the second year. The blackout for a knockout was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun watching that one in week 5, which was on September 27th of 08 on ESPN. And Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge were on the call for that one. So that was a pretty fun one. And, when we smacked Tennessee, that was fun. And ending that Auburn losing streak, that was so much fun. And it was basically to send a message that there's a new sheriff in town and it's not Auburn anymore. So it's 08 was the beginning of a new era. 09 was another great one because we showed everybody the revenge game against Florida in the SEC title. That was fun. The 2010 national title and the granddaddy of them all in Pasadena, that was a lot of fun right there.
Mm-hmm.
Although there will always be plenty of questions what if Colt McCoy didn't get hurt? I think if McCoy didn't get hurt, I think it would have been a 50-50 ball game. I really think it would have been.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't give Texas fans that.
Hey, Garrett Gilbert came in and was kind of dishing. I mean, he
what a
good.
name.
Yeah, he's from Lake Travis. He's a big time player.
I know someone else from Lake Travis. That was a pretty big time player.
It was Garrett Gilbert, or was it playing? No, it was Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, Garrett Gilbert.
Garrett Gilbert.
Was the backup, and in 2010 they went 5-7.
Yeah, right after.
Wow.
They shockingly beat Nebraska in week 7, and it's they couldn't get it done against Baylor. That was the first time since '94 when they lost to Baylor at that time.
I just couldn't believe it either. Since '94, crazy. It's just so impressive.
It is so impressive, and the dates, because I'm not great with dates like that. But for OU fans that are traveling to Tuscaloosa, what should they expect, or what is your advice? What should they do?
Well, just don't talk trash to the drunk fans. That's for sure.
Fair.
But in all seriousness, though, I think Oklahoma needs to be prepared for the Crimson Tide. They need to show everybody this is not a fluke. It's not a fluke. And Brent Venables' tenure could be riding on this game like it was last year. And I think had Oklahoma not upset Bama, you probably would have seen Venables get fired or get that vote of confidence report on ESPN. Brett McMurphy from Action Network reports that Brent Venables is returning for 2025. Got the vote of confidence. But when Oklahoma upset Alabama, that assured everybody he's returning for 2025. And it all depends on what Oklahoma's record is looking like. And I'll be honest, before I even read about Phil Steele's predictions, I was I don't even know where I'm going to have Oklahoma. I mean, they're not going 11-1. This is not the Sam Bradford era. This is not the Kyler Murray era, Baker Mayfield era. This is a new Oklahoma team. I feel 2025 Oklahoma is much similar to 2011 Clemson. I'm not saying they're going to surprise everybody by winning the SEC or anything. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying they're much similar. Why? Because 2010 Clemson, pitiful loss to South Florida, Mikey Carcare Bowl, losing record to end the year. Everybody stunned the baby out with the bathwater and Dabo Swing, talking about how terrible he is. 2011, you got a big marquee non-con game, week 3, ABC, 11 a.m. Central Time. What does Clemson do? They upset the Auburn Tigers at home. Then they beat Florida State, Virginia Tech, and then they win the ACC. They couldn't get it done against South Carolina. But, hey, that's okay. You showed Virginia Tech you're not a fluke by beating them in a rematch in the ACC title game. And now we got Oklahoma for 2025. They're going to be playing Michigan week 2 Saturday night on ABC with Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and the puppy dog on the call. And who knows what's going to happen, because Oklahoma, Michigan, you're going to hear a lot about Sharon Moore. You're going to hear a lot about Brent Venables. If Oklahoma can win against Michigan, that will set a stage of momentum for the rest of 2025. Just don't throw the cart in before the horse. That's all I ask for the Sooners if you win that one. Now, if Oklahoma can upset Alabama, oh man, that'll be huge for Venables right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think stability is key. I don't think firing somebody because everybody that's on social media is a good idea.
No,
you don't give in because everybody else with the torch and pitchforks outside the sheriff's door yelling at you is a good move. You make the move that you need to make, not what everyone wants you to make. The moves that you need to make.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I just wanted to mention there's a documentary ESPN coming out on it premieres on Thursday It's called Wishbone, and Alabama is going to be on it as well. So for any Alabama fans tuning in, Jackson, your video left.
Oh,
there it is. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, I mean the Wishbone era, because it was like 1967 through 70. That was terrible for Alabama. Bear Bryant was like, you know what? We got to learn something new. Okay, I'm going to talk to Darrell Royal and talk to his boys. Okay, what did you do with this Wishbone offense? It seems to be getting a lot of great reviews. So he gets that. Boom, you see Alabama getting national titles all over the place, dominate Auburn and Tennessee throughout 1971 through 1981. I mean, 1972, that was the one year where we lost to Auburn, and that was due to Bama punt. We had 16-0 lead. Auburn scored by block punts and a field goal. No defense, no offense, nothing.
Well, hey, look, we appreciate you taking some time. I know that we've covered a lot. We're going to have you for sure back on, if you will, the OU Alabama game week. We'll love to join you on your show if you want, or whatever.
Absolutely. And let's just say you're going to be really happy about what Oklahoma week's going to look like for Crimson Tide Live, because I'll tell you right now, we go big for each of our opponents for sure.
I love it.
So I won't spoil last year's. Like when you check out last year's, we went big. Like I told TJ this, he's like, why the heck would you get that many people for Oklahoma? And my buddy Austin was telling me that, and I think I scared Mark off his pants for a little bit when I said that. I was like, 4 people for Oklahoma? It's like, well, I mean, it is their first time in the SEC that they're playing us as a conference opponent, so you go big or go home. It's like Cool Head Luke, where he's like, why did you say 40 heads in an hour? You could have said 35. Well, 40 is a good number. Well, that was for me. 4 is a good number for Oklahoma week. I think I may do that again for Oklahoma week this year.
Boom. We love it. Any last things you want to plug or let people know about where they can find you?
Well, they can give me a follow at Alabama VOCFB on X, Twitter, and TikTok and Instagram. But also you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on YouTube, where I've got my own show, The Jacksonian, where I'm 323 subs away from that magic number 1,000. I'll definitely need all the help I can get. Yeah. And I've got my latest episode with Ty Hudson with Tuss Talk with Ty. And pretty soon, I'm making sure I've got some political episodes and non-sports episodes. I'm still hunting for those non-sports guests, but don't worry, you're still seeing college football guests on there. And you can check me out on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram that's at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And you can also check me out on this account called Blue Sky, Jackson Johnson 97 Blue Sky Social, where my friend Mike Debate says where skies are blue. Some say the skies are overcast. Some say the skies are gray. I say, oh, well, to each their own. But on all those apps, you can check out my latest calls on the Feinbaum Show, where the weekends are full of surprises once a week. So tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers pubs about the magic I'm creating on Alabama with the Boys College Football and on the Jackson. You won't want to miss it. 25 more episodes till 100. And we've got several more days till kickoff. And I'm counting down to November 15th. I'm at Saban-era, Alabama, Oklahoma. But be sure to tune in Monday nights on Oklahoma the Boys College Football with the Center Smiths, Chad and Tierney Smith. Who needs Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift when you got the star couple of the voice of college football, Chad and Tierney Smith? And check out Oklahoma Sooners Live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Josh himself, Josh Mahler, where he goes over the latest news and notes on the Sooners and he takes your call.
Boom. It froze. I don't know if you're talking still.
Stay safe, stay cool. Stay away from that miserable heat. It's hot out.
Sorry, it froze. I hate if I talked over you there, man. My bad. Thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
We do.
Boom. We'll see you.
Bye, Jack.
See ya.
Thank you.
I mean, how awesome is he?
He's the pro, man.
The dude is unbelievable. That was fantastic.
Before we switch into our next topics, go ahead and follow the Voice of College Football on all social media accounts and check out the Voice of College Football internet page. They have a lot of different stories that they're writing about that. So if you're just a general college football fan, it's a great little website to check out. Follow us on social medias as well. You will see our names down at the bottom. There we go. Once again, check out our show Mondays at 7. Of course, if there is a live chat as well. So if you are watching from X, you can. I gotta stop hitting my mic.
Yeah,
you can hop on over to YouTube. We do have a live chat going on with Robert and Jeremy, and Stacy's usually here, but I don't see where she is.
She was here.
There
earlier.
she is. And so also while you're at it, can you go ahead and like the video, throw a like on it, share the video when and if you can. Comments are fantastic as well. And then subscribe to our channel. So
Boom.
yeah, I think we got it. And when we get off here, if you could leave us a chat or a comment, that would be fantastic. What should we do this week? Something fun.
What should we do this week for?
Okay, do you prefer snow cones or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Snow cones.
We should ask him that golf question.
No.
That'd take way too long, though. That was a great one, though. It's a great one. All right. We're going to have to hit these few quick, whatever. But I love it. I love getting Jackson on. He's just a wealth of the guy's like a walking trivia book.
Truly.
With just everything. It's. Hey, look at that. Was the 10th like? Just saying. Boom. Thanks,
you,
Boomer. We
Boomer,
appreciate it,
129.
man. We appreciate it. He keeps the chat live, too. I like that. I appreciate that. Let me copy this, and I'm going to share it. This is Jackson's YouTube. Oh, whoop. I'm not. Okay. Comments. Boom. All right. Whoops. This is Jackson's YouTube. Y'all go give it a follow if you can. It's trying to build it up and, support people that make ever since we started this. I have so much respect for creators and people that,
right.
I mean, it's just to record and then upload it and do the research and all that takes a long time. So I have a lot of respect for people that do it. So I've been trying to be better about giving follows and likes and comments when I can, for sure. But all right, well, we wanted to talk a little bit about
General Oklahoma news.
General Oklahoma news. Yeah.
So for those of you who did not know, the North Oval has opened up officially for tailgating.
Yep.
I guess I should ask, how do you feel about that? That should be what should be put in the comments. How do you feel about the North Oval opening up?
If they can incorporate the band being there too, that'd be sick. Like I guess they do like the music and stuff, but I think they'll find a way to make it pretty cool.
Right. And I always go back to the days of when we were children and Lindsay Street was popping and they had the O'Connells in that gas station, the bookstore, all there where Headington is now. And man, they had live music, they had food trucks. It was so lively. And now when you go through that area, it's just meh, which I know they're trying to bring back Lindsay Street. They tried that last year. And I think it's going to continue to build. You just can't tear it all down for a decade and then expect it to pop back up instantly. But I think with the addition of the North Oval, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe eventually can get to our own type of grove, if you will, which would be fantastic. I think that'd be a really fun idea. Also, if you have a tailgate, we're free. We'll stop by. Let us know.
Boomer Bash, OU's alumni tailgate, is also moving to the North Oval as well. So they want to make it like the spot, like you had said about kind of like what the Grove is.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see them letting the North Oval.
Tailgating SDC in general is just better than what we are doing now. So I appreciate them actually trying to get there.
Yeah, like they're trying stuff. The problem is I think they're trying to balance how much they can really let fans do. Because like if you let fans just get drunk and all that on school property and with no oversight, which is what's going to end up happening in a lot of cases, you worry about getting sued for stuff. But there's also, you don't want to overparent and helicopter where it's not fun. The problem with like schools tailgating is that it can become too corporate, where it seems like it's just you're just at like a school function instead of tailgating.
Right.
So I hope
like
that they
it
make
was
it
by
feel,
the Everest Center.
Yeah, I hope that exactly. It feels very, highfalutin, and just you want it to feel like what college game days feel like in the SEC. And if they can do that, that's great. I mean, obviously you don't have to go crazy, but I think it's pretty sweet.
Right. No, I just think it's a good attempt to bring back a game day atmosphere that I feel it has been lacking for a decade or longer, really. So hopefully we can run that back. Next news.
Well, hopefully the return. Let's go through some comment. Jeremy's been holding it strong in the comment section. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully the wide receiver returning step up. Yeah, exactly. T's made this point too, and it's a correct one. With although it was terrible to go through it last year, all the young guys that got so much experience in the crucible, which you can't get in any other way. And goodness did they get it. That's going to pay, I think, just huge dividends for us going into this year. And then you tack on that with how many teams are going to be not returning a lot of what they had in 2024. They have really truly the makings of a breakout year. But I think for sure they're going to be able to be healthy. And I know there was a comment down here about that's my fault. I opened that. My bad. There was a comment here. He continued about there was from Robert Bacon about the one theory is Oklahoma's injuries were because players making cuts on bad surfaces. That is true. I've heard that too, and I don't think that's even that salacious, I guess you could say in any way. One thing that Brent Venables is big on that is different than previous coaches, and I've heard this from firsthand sources who would know about field conditions, and is that he likes to practice on the game field a lot. It's the game field, so you can't really get better prep for the upcoming game than that. But it is kind of having an effect on the field, and I've even talked to people that used to run the field maintenance, and it was, they were obviously very good at their job, but they also had the added benefit of having staffs that weren't big on being there. Usually for Thursday walkthroughs, they'll do that. They'd be on the game field and whatnot, but apparently they're getting 2, 3, sometimes 4 practices a week on the game field, and that's just kind of tearing it up a little bit, and making it pretty difficult to keep a firm ground and not have it all broken up. But yeah, sorry.
Easy to fix.
Yeah, it's true. And I like Duke Silver Sooner. I like this just right here. I like you're not afraid to say it. I appreciate that. It was historically bad luck last year. No one wants to hear it. It's annoying, but it's true. It is. BV calling the defense. Player that Oklahoma players excited. Yeah, they are. And again, someone's going to clip that. I know. I may do it if I ever find out how to make videos and stuff about where he just says, "Why am I calling the defense? Because I'm good at it," and then just clip right into them making plays. That'd be awesome. Even as bad. This is probably true too, though. Even as bad as they were, yeah.
No, I agree. We should have went 8-4. No way in heck. We should have lost to Missouri or Navy. Navy, I can kind of toss it up because we were missing what few good players we had.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
And even in no way, I agree we shouldn't ever lose, but we should have gone 8-4, and that's where I kind of get a little bit of upside because I think we should have easily won 3 more games last year if we had an offense with a pulse.
Right.
So surely this year, that happens. But Chad's the golf guy, so I'll let him make the golf announcement.
Oh, let me pull up the.
Oh man, I thought he already.
Let me pull up. Well, I just wanted. So there was big news over the weekend. Former Oklahoma player won a pretty interesting golf tournament. And I can't find my picture I sent. Is it my junk email? Huh. That's annoying. Should be in here. Hold on. I'm trying to find my picture. I don't know. Maybe it never sent items.
I could have sworn I just saw
never mind.
When we pulled up.
Oh, there's a way I can find it. Hold on. It was well, hold on, just one more sec. I know you're gonna love this. It was a. I don't know if it's not gonna send because there's not enough room on my server or what. But let me try one more time. Don't talk. Don't hum.
I'm not prepared to talk because I was not prepared for this moment. Chad apparently is also going to go over some NIL stuff for law, which is his realm. So after this, we will have one additional little tidbit of expertise from the lawyer on staff here. If your child has a speech impediment, I guess I can help with that. But
I'll do it this way. Yeah, that's true. Actually, you can. I guess it won't send. I guess I'm not logged in enough. Anyways, an Oklahoma golfer won a tournament this week, and that was me.
Okay.
There we go. I won a scramble 4-man, baby. And you see in the middle of that a check. Now, not the same size as what this guy got. A former Rutgers golfer.
We waited for that.
That was it.
That was what we waited for.
Well, it would have been much. Admittedly, the timing kind of ruined it a little bit.
Chad is the lawyer.
Yeah, allegedly. No, definitely. I'm kidding.
I was like,
thank you. Look at that. See, she roots. Congrats. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. It was a great win. Went down to Texas, took a dub, and came back up across the Red River.
Mm-hmm.
Took a dub with us.
With all the Oklahoma boys.
You married a winner. How cool is that?
He did.
Now, there's also this guy who got a lot more money than we did, and who also is a former actual all-star at Oklahoma. He won the Haskins Award in 2022, 2021, which is basically the Heisman for golf. It's the best golfer of the year wins it. Chris Gotterup wins the Scottish Open. Beats Scotty Scheffler. People have heard of him. Rory McIlroy, you've heard of him. About every other golfer that's good, that's about to play in the British Open next week, who wants to get over there and get acclimated to the weather. It was there. He beats them all, wins by 2. Also won, several $1 million. which is really cool. I saw him last year at the Corn Ferry Tour event, studying for the bar. Took a day off. He was awesome. Let me go to it. And just, I mean, it is awesome to see guys that are that good up close. And he was such a solid guy. You see like little kids run up to him because around there, obviously, it was at Oklahoma's Jimmy Austin where OU practices and plays. And there was, he was so cool and nice to everybody. Very just down to earth, kind of quiet, but just down to earth guy that was, signed all the autographs, took pictures with everybody. Was thankful for people coming out to watch him. And just someone that I was like, that's kind of a cool person to root for. And he seems like a guy that you want to have see succeed. So
not a big fan of this trophy. It looks like a kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing here? He won the Scottish Open. Let's get it popping a little bit, But yeah, so he wins the Scottish Open. He's gonna be in the Masters next year. He'll make all the majors. And it's really kind of a big deal because it's life changing in terms of for professional golfers. They have to retain their cards, and whenever you have a win like this, it gives you guaranteed status for, I believe, 2 years when you have a PGA Tour win. But the thing it also does, it gives you FedEx. There's a lot of ways they can qualify. So it gives them FedEx points, to get world ranking points, which some tournaments are based on world ranking in terms of if you can get in or not.
World ranking, especially
for someone who couldn't say their R's when they were a kid. And so that's it. And it was a pretty sweet thing to watch. Highlights are on YouTube if you want to go watch it. Just type in Scottish Open highlights; they'll show them. But yeah, it was sweet, and it was kind of cool to see OU get up there.
It's a Scottish Mountain Oyster Bowl. Is it really? Because that makes total sense.
No, okay. I mean, I trust you. If you're not, we're really just giving you full faith there. Boomer 129, if it is, Boomer 129 said the trophy's a Scottish Mountain Oyster Bowl. We don't eat oysters, so we wouldn't know. But hey, if it is, cool. Maybe it's a cool.
But it makes sense.
It does make sense.
I'd believe you because I said it looked like something in your kitchen.
I also wanted to show the fans this real quick, and I won't take long on the house stuff. I'm just going to mention I had some stuff printed out, but I'm not going to be I'm not keeping people here too long. There was why can't I go to my page, my likes? There we go. I didn't realize Oklahoma had so many. So if you didn't know, Oklahoma this week had the number one overall and the number 4 overall draft pick in the MLB draft, which I thought was pretty sweet. And then you look at this, and I had no idea, Oklahoma baseball, by the way, that they had so many draft picks. Like you look at this, so most all-time MLB draft picks, according to the baseballclub.com, baseballcube.com, which I don't know if they're right, but they have us here, so we're going to say they are. In the SEC, Texas number 1, 387. Oklahoma number 2 at 325. I have no idea. Mountain horses. That is actually true. I've heard that. There you go. So Oklahoma at 320. I had no idea we had that many.
Well, dang. See, this is what happens when we believe you, Boomer 129. Never bringing you up again.
There you go.
It's like calf fries.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like calf fries. Same thing. I had no idea. I know Vanderbilt's all time. I know that Ole Miss is good. I had no idea Oklahoma had 325 MLB picks.
I didn't either, but that's just my baseball ignorance. I've watched exactly 2.5 baseball games in general in 5 years. I watched the World Series game that we went to, and I watched that the Texas Rangers went to. Like, we went to the game. I watched that game, and I watched when OU made it to the World Series championship in, what was that, 22? I watched that game, and then I watched half of one of their other games that year. Not a baseball girl.
No, I didn't watch it. But hey, if you are, our co-host that is on Tuesdays is Josh Mahler. He's reports on him, follows him.
Yeah, big baseball guy.
Awesome. So
last but not least,
Boomer's laughing at this. Hey man, we didn't know. I didn't know. I've never heard that. So hey, good for you. I'd be cracking up too, to be fair. We have number 1. Yeah, just in Oklahoma, says Coach Smith, my dad. We have the number 1 and number 4 pick. Yep.
Crazy.
What's the best steak in Oklahoma City? I think to be honest with you, I think that the ranch is my favorite, but I think once you get to like Mahogany, the ranch, Mickey Mantle's, all of those are kind of just they're just all solid.
Mahogany, I can't tell you the best steak because I haven't been to all the steakhouses yet.
We need to go Red Prime still.
I'm down.
After that, I mean, it's just kind of Metro or Cattleman's. That's what Jeremy said.
Okay, never been to either, so
Cattleman's
I'm gonna
solid.
go there too. Oh,
Cattleman's really good. I've
never been.
It's, I believe it's like it's a franchise too.
Is it?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're
like
good.
local places. Don't
Now, Boomer, I know you've seen my tweets, my pictures of my steaks at that.
Honestly, when we go to like, I will say like more corporate, small steakhouses, like a Texas Roadhouse, Santa Fe type. I rarely ever actually get steaks because I do think like my husband's and my mother's are better.
Mm-hmm.
They just taste better to me. So I'm like, I would just rather not. So if we're going out for a steak dinner,
like, made with love.
It's made with love. I want to go somewhere fancy, but we need to close out the show because I would like to take Zeno for a walk, and Stacy will appreciate the fact that our dog needs exercise. Let's go ahead and talk NIL, the
house
newest
settlement. Boom. All right, so the clearinghouse, the house settlement setup is called NIL Go, and it is going to be ran by Deloitte, I think. But anyways, it's called NIL Go, and they came out with guidelines that said any NIL deal you have has to meet third-party approval. And the goal is to prevent schools from utilizing booster-driven entities to funnel payments to recruits and transfers as a workaround to their, the $20.5 million cap that they have going into next year. And the requirements for the deals, they have to be a valid business purpose and then within the range of a fair market range of compensation. They don't define what valid business purpose is, nor do they define what range of fair compensation is. They do, however, give a hypothetical, like a clarifying hypothetical, really, and that I think is interesting. And for those wondering, a third party deal is just one that isn't that's an agreement not affiliated with the school.
So it's like when our players were going to Mathis Brothers to sign.
Yeah, and it'll mainly affect bigger schools, understandably, but again, it's just to make sure they're paid for their market value instead of just boosters paying them to play at a certain school. And so anyways, so they do give when they came out with their guidelines, they gave out a hypothetical kind of, and it just said that, first, let me try to find it here. All right. So it says that guidance issued Thursday by the College Sports Commission, which was also set through the House settlement. And so it said an entity with a business purpose of providing payments, or benefits to student athletes or institutions rather than providing goods and services to the general public for profit does not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement set forth in NCAA Rule 22.1.3. So it says any entity with a business purpose of providing payments or benefits to student athletes or institutions rather than providing goods or services to the general public for profit does not satisfy valid business purpose requirements set forth. So immediately it looks like if it doesn't have a profit, if it doesn't have a profit motive, it's not going to satisfy the valid business rule. That's weird. Valid business purpose. So it's like
us.
I don't know, for example, if I was going to do like a cameo, that might be a valid business. That might be not for the general good. It's very specific to the person asking me to do the cameo, right? Like if someone on here, like Boomer129 says, Chad, I need you to, whatever, do a cameo for my birthday, whatever. And I'm like, all right, $20 to do it. And I was a big OU player. Then that's not for the general purpose. It's just a very specific gift, but it's not me getting money from a booster just to play at OU either. Mm-hmm. So like immediately it's like, what does that mean? That it has to be for if you're providing money for payments or benefits to student athletes or institutions rather than providing goods or services to the general public for profit does not satisfy. It cited an example that a collective reaches a deal with a student athlete to make an appearance on behalf of the collective at an event, even if that event is open to the general public and the collective charges an admission fee, e.g. a golf tournament, and the same collective's deal with a student athlete to promote the collective sale of merchandise to the public would not satisfy the valid business purpose requirement for the same reason. Today's commentary, but deeply, it says, so someone said that the guidance is not only wrong, but deeply dismissive of collective organizations and the tens of thousands of fans and donors who fuel them. So yeah, it looks like if you go to, so for example, they're not going to be allowed to say like, hey, come play in this golf tournament and we'll give you $20,000 basically, or come by and sign autographs for the players. the year we beat OU, for example, and I'm not saying this happened there, but the year we beat Texas when we had the comeback and Dylan drove down the field. The next day or Monday, we were playing in a scramble event at Belmar, and Danny Stutzman came out and came by and said hi to everybody, took pictures with every group as he drove by, and I'm sure that they paid him to be there. It's like now I don't think that would be a valid business purpose. And actually, the guy that's running the Deloitte firm, which is a marketing or a consulting firm, he came out and said that like 80% or 70% of the NIL deals would have been denied under the clearinghouse, and you can imagine that's going to be litigated, to forever.
I think something else you mentioned too was like it had to be like what they got paid to be proportionate to the job. So if you're out there signing pictures for 30 minutes and they're like $5 million,
right? Yeah,
like it's a no.
right. And so it's all about just making sure that they are. And again, it's what's fair market in Oklahoma and Norman is going to be different than fair market in in Ohio, California, and Ohio State, and LA. And so it's just all going to be, what does that mean? How is that going to be litigated? Is all just its own thing. So but that's kind of the quick update. Is just they came out with new guidance. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how they can.
And again, I don't know how you're going to enforce it.
Also, like a charity, like if a charity wants to have a player come out to their event because it'll get more donors there, and they want to pay them $5,000 to be there, $10,000, but it's not for the general public or profit. I don't know how they would. I don't know how they would say if that's a valid business purpose.
Or they say it is for the general public. You just have to buy tickets for it.
Rather than providing goods or services to the general public for profit. But see, like, if it's a charity event and you're donating, it wouldn't be to the general public's profit unless they define that as for the good of the general public, and that in a way is a profit that benefits. I don't know.
Or charities.
Anyways, that's
will be
just
the loophole.
yeah. There'll be a lot of people will try to find out. So, anyways, that is it for us. We will. Sorry to go so long tonight, but having Jackson on was fun. I didn't want to stop him early. It was fun. It was a good time. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, every week we really want to reiterate, we really do appreciate you guys we really do appreciate you guys taking time to listen to us.
I do want to let everybody know that we will not be live next Monday at 7 p.m. due to the fact that we will not be home. So we will be going live Wednesday at 7 p.m. and because we did not want to go over Josh's show. We didn't want to go to the call-in show. So Wednesday at 7 p.m. we will be joined by our Tennessee Voice of College Football host. We'll be previewing the Tennessee game.
Boom. And we will be sorry, I'm just misreading that. Anyways, we just wanted to say thank you for watching. We do try to take time to research a lot as much as we can. And it's been fun. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a blessed week. Again, we're praying for still the people that happen in Texas, and just hoping that all that works out and then the families are at least given some sort of closure. So anything else? Are we good?
Just join us next Wednesday at 7.
Like, subscribe, tell us your ice cream or snow cone.
Ice cream or snow cones?
Ice cream is the right answer. See
Snow
y'all.
cones.
Bye.